Rita, so here it is. The video in question, or I was going to do whatever, blah blah blah, after the last Bad Blokes episode. I'll I'll put the I'll put the playlist. I'll put the playlist and the individual episode itself in the description of this video. And this is Fun with Flag Facts Elf or 11, the Dutch word. I'm doing all of these numbers in Dutch as a reference to, if you haven't, it's just like a recap, as a reference to the official Vexillology Society, or Vexology, you pronounce it. I mean, technically, the vexillology thing started with in America, but the official Vexillology Society was a Dutch endeavour, and just as well because I like sprinkling foreign words into things when I can, for people to figure out and for me to figure out. Because who said learning can't be fun? Yeah, so all the numbers are going to be in all the numbers of the episodes are going to be in Dutch because of the Vexillology Society, which was founded in, I think, somewhere like Amsterdam or The Hague or whatever, in 1966. So that's a little clever reference to that. And yeah, this one is about the South African flag. Not the current one, but the one right before it that got replaced in 1994. It was used for 66 years, from 1928 to 1994. It was the flag. I'm not sure what to think of it. I kind of like it and I don't like it at the same time. It looks a bit disordered. But I'm not sure if I like the modern South African flag now. I suppose I always sort of liked how it looked like a sideways Y. Any Afrikaners out there that are watching my channel, probably, are you divided, as apartheid divided your country for many years until quite recent? I mean, it's still probably in recent memory for people, depending how old you are. Interesting political country, really, politically country, if that makes any sense. If I try not to stumble on my words, where they were like a staunch ally. Loads of lads from there fighting in, I think, both world wars, but if it came to it, I think the snobby majority probably would have tried to partner with the Nazis. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try not to get crucified in the comments for that, basically, depending on who you are and what your beliefs are. But the flag. Yeah, the flag had a Union Jack, the Dutch flag, and then the one I've just figured out today, I've learned about today, the one on the flag on the third flag, really, on the far right hand side, is the Verkleur, and that represents the South African Republic and the tricolour thing, which is represented partly in it represented in the one they've been using since 1994, and it hasn't changed. Interesting thing. It was also, until 1961, it was actually used by Namibia which until yeah, Namibia was given its name by the United Nations in 1968, but the flag was used until 1961 when Namibia was Southwest Africa, which was pretty much under South African jurisdiction, and I mean it's kind of I think Southwest Africa at that time, Namibia was sort of very similar to Zimbabwe or Rhodesia, as it would have been called for many years until the until the 90s. If you've seen you know film buffs, I'm sort of a film buff. In fact, my family would argue I'm a massive film buff, like Tony DiNozzo from NCIS. But if you've seen Blood Diamond, Danny Archer, Leonardo DiCaprio says he's from Rhodesia, and I think Rhodesia was still a thing for a couple of more years during Blood Diamond. He's basically, if he was around, if he was actually around and he was around today, he would be a Zimbabwean, or what they would have called I think with the ethnic divide stuff, they call them white Rhodesians, and the dialect, or what the black Africans refer them to as well. Are they what do they call them now? They call them Salisbury English. Yeah, as a reference to the former name of Harari. That's changed a little bit with the names, with the spelling of the name, with the E taken off and sometimes not. It used to be, Salisbury and then Harare, when it was still Rhodesia. I think it might have actually been Salisbury for quite a bit after, even when it was just Zimbabwe. But yeah, a lot of tension in that country, in former Rhodesia slash Zimbabwe. Um, maybe the country was a mistake in the long haul. In the 80-ish years that it's officially been a country, and so on and so forth. I'm getting off track a little bit. Yeah, Namibia brackets Southwest Africa was under the jurisdiction of South Africa from 1915 to 1990. They got rid. Yeah, they got rid of the of this flag that I'm talking about, the 1928 to 1994 flag, because they basically wanted to do away with the whole negative connotations, the dark past of possibly leaning towards white supremacism and the supporting apartheid thing. But there's still people who do that. I mean, there's that old. Every now and again, I watched Louis Theroux on BBC iPlayer, and there's an episode of Weird Weekends called White, and there's some kind of backwater. I guess you could say, for you Americans out there, backwater hick town, whatever, that supports bringing back the apartheid. Yeah. What was it again? Yeah, me and my I'm no good at skim reading, so yeah, that's the thing. That's a habit I'm trying to work on. Maybe I shouldn't try. Maybe I should just leave it as is, and people have strengths and weaknesses in different types of processing and thinking. But yeah, I'm basically like David Frost, or like a young David Frost, or Trevor McDonald young Trevor McDonald shuffling through his papers. But he managed to get stuff done. In fact, they were both very popular. So yeah. The African National Congress approved the the flag that's been used since for 31 plus years now. The sideways Y, I like to call it. Before that, it went the South Africans in the kind of short kind of history as a country in relative terms. They replaced a lot of their flags quite a number of times, depending where they were, in southern Africa and everything like that. And actually, what's an interesting fact to me is about this, most of all, because I like my Navy stuff, I like my Air Force stuff, due to possible family background stuff, is that it replaced the South African blue ensign, which was used on their in their Navy forces. The Afrikaner naval vessels, for quite a short time, actually, 17 years. So that was the blue ensign was used on ships from 1910 to 1928, when they started using the 1928 to 1994 flags. So there's not really much else to say. I mean, inspiration is sort of like writer's block, just as a bit of a message before I go. There's no point forcing it. Depending on the situation. I mean, sometimes, like, if you're in a job that demands researching and what have you, you have to go around the kind of writer's block and think, all right, what's out there? What can I write about? And just do it one step at a time, or whatever. It's kind of how I do it. But yeah, you can't force inspiration, is my message at the end of this video. I hope it's inspirational enough. I did quite an inspirational one about, at the end of Bad Blokes episode 7, which like I said at the beginning of this video, I'll include. So I'm gonna go off and edit this through UCut, which I highly recommend. I wonder if they'll sponsor me. I wonder if it's easy to get become a like a sponsored partnership with UCut. I mean, YouTubers do it all the time, like with BetterHelp and so on and so forth. But before I run out of minutes, because the recording time on this, due to everything I've done and the storage and everything like that, is exactly the runtime of the recording. It's as an entirety is 22 minutes and 57 seconds. So I will shut my gob and end it here and say this is History Boy signing off.